Hello, friends. I so look forward to these times of gathering, and I wanted to share with you how valuable they have been for me. And I'm part of my intention is to create value for all of us with something that we all have at our that we can call on, that doesn't cost anything and is limitless and can be a source of renewal, both for us and for others. And this is indeed the live love scooping. I saw something going by in the chat. Is this the live love scooping? Yes, you are in the right place. So welcome if you haven't been here before. I consider now as thinking about loop of awareness as presence in action. That loop of awareness is our presence that we can give both to ourselves and to others. So most of the time we think of presencing as a quiet, internal, kind of semi-holy thing, and that we're acting, when we act in the world, we think of, well, I'm going to go and do, and then I'll be still and present for myself. And so loop of awareness and love scoops allows us to have presence while we're in action in the world. And I think that's incredibly powerful. And it's also something that we can osmose from each other. Not only here, but when we just think of each other, we can gather that sense of presence. We can fill our reservoir. So even just go ahead and do that now. Look at other people and really let yourself kind of take in their presence and add it to your own reservoir. And they're maybe doing the same with you. And part of what we are doing is actually loop of awareness and love scooping. So if you're looking at something like, I always love Michael's smile. And so when I see Michael's smile and then I take that in, it adds to the lusciousness of my presence. So just go ahead and do that sort of love scoop from somebody that you see, even, especially somebody you don't know, like, oh, I love that presence. And as you're noticing that, notice that you are needing to do something with your attention in order to notice that. So one of my intentions this morning is to use intention with attention, that we don't realize that our intention for the way we're using our presence has a big impact on what we're giving and receiving. So the intention we're using right now is appreciation. We're being sensitively aware of somebody else, and then you're taking that in. So I'd like you to actually use your hands to kind of go out there and go, ooh, like that, and then bring it in, and bring it in somewhere in you that's wanting some appreciation. Yeah, and notice how the rhythm that wants to happen. You may want to have a lot of and then a splotch and letting it melt over you. So play with different ways that you're noticing. And part of appreciation too allows you to look for new things. So I'd like you to appreciate by looking for new things in other folks, like something, and you may not know what it is. And then you bringing it back and letting your body tell you how your body would like to receive that. One of the things I've noticed is that with all the use of computers, people are getting a little bit more, head in a box. So let yourself get kind of extravagant with the way you use your body to bring in and let that land. And I'm especially noticing the area just above my pelvis and my back that we call the QL, the quadratus lumborum. It's going, hey, some for me, some for me. And so just notice, how does your body let you know, ooh, some for me? Ah, now, and I want to add another element today that I've really been playing with, which is enjoying the pause. So we've come from a society that has gotten so. In fact, just give yourself just a half a second to try that on, because I don't want you to get stuck in it. But that kind of go and do and kind of, oh my God, and look what's happening. And what we're being invited into now, the great gift of this time, is to find and enjoy the pause. So what I'd like you to do now with your attention, and you can use your hands if you like, or simply using your awareness, is I'd like you to notice, let's just play with the other people on the call for right now. I'd like you to send your awareness out and around somebody else, and then just pause there. For me, the pause, I go more horizontal. My ribs spread out. So speedy, I go more like a train. And pause, I'm really feeling around me. It's more the ripple, of the pebble in the pond. So I'd like you to let your attention go out and around someone else, and then just pause. Notice what it's like for you to invite yourself to pause. And then bring that quality that you've appreciated back into you, and pausing on the receiving. So for me, it's a pausing, a settling, and also a sense of I'm here. So I'm here when I send my attention out and I let myself pause. I can feel I'm being with. The pause adds to the being with. And then when I'm bringing back into me and I pause, I'm also including me. If you're like most people, you're inclined more to give now. You're doing the best you can to give in all of these different ways. And I'd like you to include you in the giving, so that you let yourself ripple out. You're noticing. And if you like, you can include the space around you when you let your attention come out. What I find also is that I'm using my attention more in this plane. It's more like a hula hoop, which I have somewhere in storage. I was going to bring one in. I thought, oh no, too much trouble. So the letting your attention come out and then pause. And then letting your attention come back to you and circling you and pause. And then noticing what can you bring to that allows you to enjoy it even more. So what I'm noticing is I'm just noticing Christina's flowers. I love that. I'm going to take in the essence of those. And I'm noticing that my breath wants to expand. So noticing as you're letting yourself loop and then pause, and then looping back this way, and then pause. Notice what adds to the richness. So for me, my breathing, really letting my breathing lead rather than my head, using other senses. So I'm noticing as I pause in either direction that my other senses are waking up. I can hear the birds. I can hear it's Monday morning here, so I can hear garbage trucks going by and doing their job to help society keep functioning. So you might find other things that, like, I'm looping appreciation to all of the folks who got up early and got their trucks organized and are going around and picking up the things that I think I can throw away. So notice what adds to your sense of richness. So looping out, and I like to let my eyes, because most of the time, when our eyes are open, 60% of what our brains are paying attention to is here. So if I'm letting my eyes go soft, I'm letting my eyes change speed, that it allows for more of my senses, what I'm feeling, what I'm hearing, to be included. And the other thing I want to have you add in today is opening even more of your willingness to receive. Because so many of us are, which is wonderful, giving and looking for ways to be of service, really important to fill your own reservoir. So opening, when you come back this way, I'd like you to check, what's my willingness to receive right now? Am I willing to fully receive and to give? And in both directions, let your body play with what would my body be doing if I were fully willing to receive? Do what we call bodifying your willingness to receive. What I'm noticing is that this area of me wants to open up even more, because when I'm, like I'm on my computer, I'm focusing out, I tend to block the top of the lungs there. So just notice anything in your own body where you can create more space for receiving. And the love scoops, we're doing the love scoops differently today. We usually reach down and into our own pool, but realize now that the pool is all around you, and that the medium, the intention that allows you to really bring in is to appreciate. So letting your attention be sprinkled with, spritzed with, flowing with appreciation. And that is being willing to focus, give your sensitive awareness to. And for me, it's also focusing on what's possible. Where's there a possibility here? And then I can scoop that up and give it to me. So we have such a habit in our culture of paying attention to you as selfish, giving is better than receiving. And what I'm thinking is that receiving is essential to giving. So during this week, I want you to notice the relationship between giving, and when you notice that you're feeling tired or stressed, let yourself do a few loops with your whole body, bringing back in and refreshing yourself. You'll find that it doesn't take very long at all. Just 2 minutes of letting yourself appreciating. We have such a glorious start to our summer. I'm also just appreciating the air and the quality of the air and the quality of the bird song. And then you can bring that in. And letting that land. I think that touch is very important right now, because we're not getting to do that as much with people as our well-being requires. So you can bring that in from outside and gather all of that and let yourself receive from all of the people who are wanting your life to be wonderful and full right now. So the balancing between giving and receiving, the balancing between experiencing and expressing, that's a dynamic that goes on all the time. And you can play with that dynamic. You're not the victim of that dynamic. You can help shape that dynamic. One of the things I love, I love about this time with you all is that it just disappears. And so here we are at 9:15. So I want to invite you all to unmute yourself and make appreciative sounds and slurpy sounds, any kind of sounds that you'd like to do. Beautiful. Thank you so much for being with us today.